another video. I'm Charlie, and today this is part 2 of a tour of my Mac collection. In this video, I'm going to be going over I'm going to be going over the laptops in my collection and some of the accessories in my Apple collection. Unfortunately, I had to split this video in 2 parts because a 50-minute video would be way too long by itself. So I'm splitting it in 2 parts. These types of videos are going to be a series. Every 3 months, if I've received at least 5 computers, I'll make a video like this. And yeah, so let's get started. First up, we have probably one of the first ever Apple computers I've owned in my collection, my iBook G3 Snow. This is probably one of the first ever Apple computers I've ever owned, and one of the first ever Apple computers I've ever had in my collection. This was given to me by Clement very generously, and I loved it. It was the greatest thing ever. I was the happiest person on earth. I've owned this thing for the longest of time, and it's just like a really nice reminder of living in Switzerland. But yeah, it works perfectly fine. I used to watch DVDs on this. That was the only thing I really did with it. It's the iBook G3. It's the later revision model. It's not the earlier one, but it's the later one. The computer has definitely seen better days, but I did give it a nice little clean, and it looks a lot better. A few things I would like to show you is that there's this rainbow Apple logo on the back. The thing I loved about this computer was that the Apple logo glowed, and that was like the coolest part about it. And also what was cool was that Clements gave me this really cool Apple logo that I could put on the back, and it would even glow. And I even have this yellowed sticker with my name on it. This sticker I put on it as soon as I got it, because I didn't want anybody to take it, because I wanted to keep it forever, which I am going to. And I put this sticker on here, and it's been on there ever since, and it's turned yellow. Compare it to the normal plastics of the computer. But otherwise, this computer is in very nice condition. Everything works perfectly, and I never really got to web browsing on it because it was a bit complicating. But yeah, I'm really happy to own this. This is probably my most favorite thing in my collection, because this was the first ever Apple computer I've ever owned. This was before I even started a collection of Apple computers. Well, Clement inspired me to start, but I didn't really do it. I collected phones a bit more than computers, and this was my first ever Apple computer, and it's really nice to see it. Next, we have another recent donation. It is my Macintosh PowerBook 180C. Computer was working perfectly for a time at school. So I got it from Mrs. M. But when we wanted to try the battery, she just unplugged it, and then the computer turned off. When we turned it back on, this is what would happen. I would get the Happy Mac logo, but then the flashing disk image of death. So it is quite common for these hard drives to fail like this because they don't usually last this long, especially in PowerBooks, because they used a different type of hard drive. It was a more modern styled, thinner styled hard drive that weren't as reliable as the older hard drives in the earlier Macs. But otherwise, the computer works perfectly fine. I haven't tested out the floppy disk drive, and I haven't tried booting it off a floppy disk drive. But I haven't tried it out yet because I haven't had enough time. I just haven't really been paying attention to it that much lately. So yeah, let's move on. I have nothing much to say about this. This is my first ever Apple PowerBook to have the trackball, and I have been looking for a PowerBook with one of these, and this has probably been my best search. I did see something like this. I think it was the original 180 at the Vintage Computer Show with the black and white screen, but the screen was crisp. It was very crispy, the screen. It looked like somebody barbecued it, and I could even feel the screen burnt when I touched it, and it was kind of crazy. But this computer works fine, I guess. But I hope I can find a replacement hard drive for it. There was nothing on it, but it's kind of sad that there's nothing that the hard drive does not work. So let's have my 1995 Macintosh PowerBook 190 CS. I got this PowerBook at a Vintage Computer Show for $45 in complete working order. I would like to mention that the battery on this PowerBook and the last PowerBook I showed you do not work at all. They are completely dead. But, yeah, so I think I already mentioned that. The speaker is fine. It doesn't sound that good, but it's fine for a portable laptop speaker. The floppy drive works, and the hard drive works perfectly, which is quite rare for these old PowerBooks. It's in extremely good cosmetic condition and has zero dust whatsoever. And for a minute when I saw it at the Vintage Computer Show, I almost gasped because it was in such good condition and it was for such a low price, and I didn't even realize it at first, and I thought someone else might have taken it before I did, so immediately I took it because it was the greatest find ever at that show. But this was totally worth it. It even came with After Dark 2.0 on it, which is pretty decent. And this is probably one of my best vintage PowerBook laptops I have. This is one of the newer models that have a trackpad. It was one of Apple's first Apple computers to feature a trackpad, which is pretty cool. And I like how compact it is, and the screen is perfectly fine. And yeah, so let's move on. The computer did also come with a lot of other software besides just the After Dark. Like it came with these cool spaceship simulators, a battle submarine simulator, and a few other cool work simulators. But it's a really nice computer. The description for this that came up with it on a piece of paper said that even the seller felt sad to let it go because it was such a nice computer, and I don't see why, because it's very nice. Even I think it's nice, and it was a very lucky find, and I'm happy to have it. I made a video on it pretty recently, so if you want to go see it, check it out on my YouTube channel. So we have my 1999 iBook G3 clamshell berry blue. I got this computer on eBay for $80. I originally intended to get a Blueberry model, which is what I got here. I do look for a few things when I buy an iBook clamshell. For one, if I'm looking for a specific color, I only want to try and find that specific color. The reason I wanted the berry blue model was so it could match my iMac G3, which was a good idea because they both look really nice together. So and I wanted this to feel like a laptop version of my iMac. Another thing I look for in an iBook is any cracks in the case, because usually, especially these models, have cracks near the Apple logo and other things. And this one has no cracks at all, besides on the handle. The seller never mentioned any cracks on the handles or the dead battery, but I guess, but I didn't realize that, and it's not such a big deal because it's not like any iBooks nowadays. Any remaining iBooks have working batteries. Although one thing that I hate so much about these computers is this. As you can see here, it is missing the leaf. That is another thing I look for in iBooks, to make that they still have the leaf. This was the cheapest one that I could find with the leaf. The ones with the leaf were extremely expensive, and I just couldn't find one. And that's just probably something I really hate, and that's just something I really hate about these computers. It's probably the thing I hate the most about them. But otherwise, it's a very nice and decent computer. I usually use it to play Sim Tower. So I keep wanting to upgrade it to macOS 10, so I have a more modern experience with it. But the issue with that is that Sim Tower will not work on macOS 10, and I have my best tower save file on this computer, and I haven't figured out yet how to move it to my iMac But yeah, so that is the iBook G3. The final computer of the day is my boxed iBook G4. I've done an unboxing and review of this computer in a previous video, and I don't really feel like turning this thing on because it's very similar to the iBook G3, so there isn't really any point. Also, I don't feel like opening everything up, especially the accessory kit, but I'll show it to you. So here it is. Slightly different from the iBook G3, especially considering the size. Reminds me more of a MacBook. And, okay, so this is it. Very nice. The palm rests are a bit dirty. It's a different keyboard, and also some of the keys are worn out or completely gone. And one of the keys is missing. I think it's the control key, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a lot dirtier than I remembered, but yeah, so this is the iBook G4. It's basically identical to the G3, except this one has all of its feet. Yeah, the design is very similar. Anyway, but that will conclude the collection of all my computers. So now we can move on to the accessories. Let's take a look at some of these accessories that I have for some of these computers. We're going to start off with this big iBook G3 clamshell box. Now, the computer you're seeing on the box is actually the graphite model of iBook. And the iBook I bought did not come with this box. This was just a storage box that my school used for a time, but then I got this box when my school gave me a lot of things. They also gave me these three accessory kits, and this one came with the iMac G3 Grape, the one that I got from Sally. But yeah, there is some cool stuff in here. So there are a bunch of install CDs. There's I have 2 software pouches. I have a lot of these different types of software pouches, and most of them are in pristine and unused condition. So I'm probably going to start something on eBay. So this is an accessory kit that came with my the PowerBook 180C. So in here we got some system discs. As you can see here, system discs. Very nice. Probably never used because kind don't know. But we have this battery holder, and there's no battery in here, but unfortunately, the computer's battery was stored properly, and I already mentioned in a video that it kind of exploded, sorta, and it looks like this now. And I had to rip it out. It didn't damage the computer in any way, but the battery has definitely seen better days. But this is kind of a cool thing. I don't have a use for it, but it's cool. Up next, we have this cool Macintosh user's guide for the PowerBook. All the necessary things with a 450-page manual. I don't know how many pages, probably more than that. And an Apple resource guide with, oh my God! Look at this! I didn't even know this was here! Oh my God, this is the holy grail of Apple computer. Oh my God. I have never seen one of these before. I never thought I'd get one of these. This is the greatest thing ever in existence. I'm keeping this. Whoa! Oh my God. There is so much good stuff in here. I thought this was just going to be a bunch of boring brochures. So packing list for the Mac, who cares? Technical information, boring. Boring. Warranty. This is pretty cool. It's a bunch of cool ads for Macworld, A+, you can get an Apple mouse pad. Wish they got one. This is some cool art on the inside. But this is incredible. Apple stickers. Who knew? And they've never been used. I doubt the original owner even knew these existed. Huh. That's awesome. So I'm gonna put this all back now. All fits perfectly. Oh, the resource guide has a few pages in it, but it's just like warranty information and other non-interesting stuff. Okay, and there you go. When I grow up, I'm putting one of these stickers on my car, no doubt. That's the coolest thing. But I'm going to save them in this resource guide. Otherwise, there's nothing else in here besides this cable that I don't really want to show you because who cares. But yeah, that's awesome. There was more in there than I expected. I bet Mrs. M would have been drooling when she saw that and would have took them from me. Anyway, other than that, there's just a bunch of boring manuals and stuff in here that nobody cares about. And some more blue software pouches. If you're interested in buying a software pouch, I might start a shop on eBay. So up next, we have these Logitech Mouse Man mice. Computer mice. They're Apple Desktop Bus. They're supposed to be Apple Desktop Bus, but I tried it on one of my Macs and it doesn't work. It might use a different port, but it's designed for the Mac SE or newer. I have two of these. Both got these from my school. Very nice indeed. Up next we have a Power Macintosh G3 accessories kit. I don't have a Power Macintosh G3, but all that comes in here is loads of these Power Macintosh G3 installation discs and some of these Avid Cinemas discs. And yeah, they're just a whole ton of these. I mean, look at how much. It's filled to the brim with them. Look at that. And here we also got this a Palm Pilot, I guess. It's odd. Didn't think I'd see one of these in here. Okay. I'll look into that soon. And we also have this cool little unopened microphone that you put somewhere on the monitor or something. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna close that and put that on the floor. Up next, we have an iMac accessory kit. This is like one of the cool old school hockey puck mouse iMac accessory kits. I might hang one of these on my wall. So in here we have these cool iMac books. It's the iMac book. It's got this cool texture to it, and I really like it. Over here we have the Ultimate iMac book. And we have more of these green software pouches that probably go with the Power Macs or the iMacs, but I'm definitely going to be selling a bunch of these if you're interested, probably for like maybe $20 to $30. More of these, most of these are unopened in fact. I might start a book, I might have a bookshelf in this room with a bunch of iMac books in it soon. So yeah, pretty excited. Up next we have another accessory kit, another iMac accessory kit. This one is just filled to the brim with more of these green pouches, lots of software. And finally, we have the accessory kit that Sally gave me with her iMac. As you can see, it has the grape sticker on it. And yeah, she bought some of these CDs pretty recently because she thought they would work with her data transfer, but they didn't. Under these CDs, there are some more Apple software, but I already have loads of that. A lot of Ethernet cables. There's this door. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The keyboard and mouse would go in this area here, technically. But yeah. So that's the iMac accessory kit. And finally, we have this macOS 10 box with all my macOS 10.4 installation discs. I've never actually used these discs. These came with my iBook G4, and I haven't really used it. It's just a really cool box. It opens up like this, and yeah, it's a nice little box. So that will do it with my accessories, and I have two more things to show you. So I'll be back. So let me put this all away, and I'll show you. The item I will be showing you guys today is my Apple Studio display monitor. So I was going to show you my color style writer that I got from the Vintage Computer Show for free, but unfortunately I just realized that my friend is borrowing it because he's testing it out, and he isn't going to be giving it back to me for another few weeks. So yeah, anyway, but I would like to mention that this monitor is extremely cool. So on the back, as you can see, so you have two USB ports, and you only have one cable. Yes, that's right. You only have one cable, which is this. It's a, I believe this is DVI. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's DVI. No, it's, I don't know, but this is a very cool monitor because it only has one cable built in, and there are no other cables whatsoever. And basically what this cable is the power and the video cable, and it also has connects these two USB ports to the computer. So all you have to do is connect this thing into the computer, and then boom, now you have two USB ports. You have a USB hub back here, and you have video and power for this one monitor. And it's a very cool monitor. I got it for $25, and usually these go for like maybe, these can go for like maybe 15 to $100, but originally the guy who's selling this wanted $50, but I talked him down to $25 because I showed him some cheap listings of it on eBay, and he knew how much I wanted one of these. Because I actually have been lurking around for one of these for quite a while, ever since I got my Power Mac G4, because I wanted a matching Apple monitor for it to look cool. But next year I'm probably going to be displaying it if I get some software. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. So now that I've showed you this, and I've showed you everything there is to be shown, it is time to end this very long video. So that'll do it for today's video. So this compilation of videos actually ended up being 2 parts. I originally intended it to be a one-part video, but I guess it's a 2-part. You will be seeing a few more videos like this in the future, depending on how much computer I get within 3 months. If I get at least 5 computers within 3 months, I'll make another video like this. But yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below what you want me to do next. Donate to my website, link in the description below. And also, I just recently got out of school, so expect more videos to come very soon. And stay tuned for that, and I will see you again in the next video. Goodbye.